Hey, good morning and welcome to the Lioness Den. We are extremely happy to have you here today. Look, it is family month here at the Lioness Den, and we are just, we are just amazed and happy to have you join us. Look, before we get started, let's do what we always do. Guys, let's grab our phones, go to our social media, and let's share today's live with a friend, a family member, someone. So, you know how we do. Let's go on over to our Facebook and our um, Instagram and all of that, and let's share today's live. Look, I'm going there, and we're just going to share today's live really quickly with everyone we know. Why? Because we want them to come in the room today. So here we go. Let's go. The Lioness Den. Let's go over and check out the Lioness Den and share today's live. Look, you can share it with multiple people. We want you to share it with everyone you know. Why? Because today's event is going to be amazing. And we have the Wilsons who are joining us once again. And guys, if you don't know, let me tell you, uh, you are in for an amazing treat. They've been with us before, they're back with us again, and they are the modern day Cosby family. If you remember the Cosbys and you love them, you are going to love the Wilsons. So come on in, join us today in this amazing conversation as we talk about family first during family month. So come on, I'm still sharing. I'm sharing. I need you to do the same with me. Just share with everyone you know. I'm sharing with a bunch of people. They probably gonna text me later and say, Lydia, you shared with us in a group, and we don't like groups. If I share with you in a group and you don't like groups, I apologize. But look, we're about to have a really fun hour. So grab your friends, grab your family, and join us as we go into the Lioness Den. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lioness Den. And again, this is Family Month. And usually every August is our Family Month. It's a time where we share with a family. We usually do a few more episodes during the Family Month, but this year we've decided just to do the one, and we've decided to do it with the whole family. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to some and present to others the Wilsons. Hello, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm wondering, can you guys hear what I'm hearing? It sounds like air. I don't know. Maybe it's my earphones. No?
No.
Okay. So we're going to move forward. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, maybe it's me. Let me just do one little thing and just to see if we can get that out of the background. but I'm just going to keep going. If you can hear me, I can hear you. Let's go on with the interview. That's what I say. Are you guys ready to move forward?
We're here.
So, if you could introduce yourself, I would greatly appreciate it. Um, so I'm going to yield to you all.
Cool. Well, I'm Lucretia.
I'm Andre.
I'm Gabby.
I'm the other Andre.
And this is Rocky. Yes. And we're the Wilsons.
Welcome, Wilsons. Thank you so much for joining us today. You guys were the first family we ever had on. When we did Family Month, you guys were the first family we ever had on. And we had an amazing time together. And so it is just fitting that we revisit you this year, since life has changed for you all a lot. I think the last time we visited you all, Gabrielle was getting ready to graduate high school. She was on her way to college. AJ was just getting into high school. And so you have a senior and a junior, right, Gabby? Am I right? A senior and a junior? AJ's a senior and Gabby's a junior. And you guys are almost, except for Rocky, empty nesters. So it's a whole different dynamic. Now you're doing all that, but I know you're gonna cry when they gone, so don't even go there.
They can't go too far, so I'm good.
Okay. So you guys are almost empty nesters. Let's catch up with Gabby first. Gabby, it's been a few years. Can you tell us how has it been? You've gone from a senior in high school to a junior in college. How's the journey been?
College is definitely different from high school. Um, with college, I find myself having more independence and honestly a little bit more freedom sometimes. Um, but college is definitely teaching me how I want my life to end up and what things I can tolerate and what things I cannot tolerate.
Got it. Um, so mom and dad, how is it without your baby girl in the house? Because I know you guys are like, so how is it without your baby girl in the house?
I'll let Dad answer.
It's a major adjustment. I'm protective of both of my children. And so it's an adjustment. It's not an adjustment to the point where I have a few associates where their children are out of state, because I would probably not be living in Maryland if it was a situation where she was out of state, but she's only 15 minutes away. So I have to tell myself when she's not here that she's in the room with the door closed. And so at the same time, it's an awareness that I have to let her be free to soar and understand that she's not a little girl any longer, even though in my mind, she's always going to be daddy's little girl, but she's growing, she's maturing. And so, it's a major adjustment for me. And I'm continuing to adjust, not just with her, but with him as well. So I am learning to adjust. That's what I'm stuck on. So I'm not going to say anything further other than I'm learning to adjust and see that not only is she getting older, but I'm getting older. And so that's why it's also an adjustment, because reality is kicking in that it's like, wow, I'm no longer the younger person that I was, and she's no longer the younger person that she was. So, yeah.
I think all children remind us of our age.
Right.
No
Absolutely.
matter no matter what happens, as they go from little people to big people, you're like, oh, I remember when, and now they're
Yeah.
big people. And it's amazing because they turn into adults and we are already adults. And someone felt the same way with us. Like they
Yeah.
had little babies that turned into actual grown people. So it's like whoo, wow. Cree, you said you were gonna let Andre talk, but how has it affected you? Because in knowing you guys, I know that Gabby is somewhat like one of your best friends, and she's not at home all the time with her best friend. So how has it affected you?
I'm cool. So I was the one, even though she decided on her own that she was going to stay in state for multiple reasons. She did her research about tuition out of state, about all the things that come with. So she decided on her own to stay in state. And I was actually the one pushing for her to live on campus. I call it adulting on training wheels, right?
Hmm.
I remember going through college and I worked full time. So I went to college full time and I worked full time. So there were a lot of things that I did not experience during my college years because I went to class, left class, went straight to work. So I encouraged her to live on campus. You don't have to have a job because I wanted her to have the full college experience. So for me, I was okay with it. It was exciting. It was like, oh, my baby gets to experience all these things. So I think my perspective is a little different than daddy. And because daddy is daddy and is his little girl, I think once the boy moves out, his perspective probably will be a little different. He's protective of both of them, but the guys out there, when it comes to your daughters, it's a whole different thing. And coming from a home where I've had a younger brother as well, it's some things I would say to my mom, like, oh, you treated him different as I got older. Like, you let him do some stuff that you probably wouldn't have never let me do. So I just wanted her to have the full experience. So I'm cool. She checks in, texts, usually once a day. Hey, good morning or good night. I'm good. How was your day? And that's fine for me. I'm good with that. And again, she's up the street. If something really happens, she's close by. So I'm a little more calm with her being gone. I'm okay. I'm probably total opposite of emotional wise of Andre with her being gone.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. It sounds about right. About right. Most girls are daddy's girls and boys are mama's boys. So we'll move on to Mr. AJ because Mr. AJ, when the last time we saw him, he did not have all this hair. First of all, and he has grown rather tall because he was not as tall either. He was just a little guy. Now he's a big guy. AJ, how is life going for you?
Uh, life is pretty cool. Mm, I'm at home with the dog most of the time, so I don't really go out a lot, which not really a problem for me. I like chilling in the house with the dog. So, eat, sleep, get on the game, repeat. Sleep. It's all I know.
Y'all, what happened to his voice? Something happened to his voice. Something happened to his voice.
About maybe 2 to 3 years ago, something happened. The voice went a little lower. Is this stuff now on his face? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
something
getting
happened to
worse.
the boy.
Yeah.
AJ, you have gone from middle school to high school. You're now a high school senior. Um, what is different for you academically? Because I know about your high school journey and where you are, but tell us how you ended up where you are at your school, and what is the difference that you've seen in the last few years between middle school and now about to graduate from high school?
Um, I would say like there was times in middle school they was like, oh, in high school a lot of this stuff won't fly, and you got to take it so much more seriously. And to a certain effect, I would say that's true. Like the level of classes they have in high school is like, you really gotta like put forth all your effort to make sure you're keeping up with everybody else. But then there's some aspects, it's like, high school, really just middle school, just on a tiny different level.
Okay.
But, it's just you take your time, try to enjoy every moment of it. because freshman year was just like last week for me, and now I'm a senior now, ready to graduate.
Yay.
I I never could have seen this happening, but time flies.
You couldn't see it happening. I mean, it does happen for us, you know. We go in and we
Yeah.
grow. Um, Lucretia, because I know, Aunt AJ is your baby. How has life changed for you? Oh, Gabby, you don't have to even shake your head. How has life changed for you over this last few years?
I have slowly trying to push him to be independent because he is a mama's boy, okay? Hands down, mama's boy. I should have had a picture of your head on my shoulder the other day. All right. And it's fine, but with that, I have seen adult men who were mama's boy that turn out not to be sometimes the best in life with being able to handle situations. So I recognize that there are some things I had to start doing to ensure, while he'll always be my baby, I want you to be the most independent, self-sufficient man that just really loves his mother very, very well. So when it came to him in school, all the way up through freshman year of high school, I say half my gray hair is because did you do your homework? Did you turn it in on time? Why am I getting an email that it was late? Why is it missing? Blah, blah, blah. Part of sophomore year, I did the same thing. And then I said, you know what? This is stressing me out. In a few years, you will be grown. I am not going to be able to remind you of any assignments, be that you go to college or trade school, or be that you get a job. I am not going to be able to remind you of all the things you need to do, you have to do. So I took my hands off. I was like, every now and then I'd be like, did you check your email? Everything turned in on time. His high school has a wonderful system that if they're looking like they're about to fail, they send parents a text saying, hey, your child is basically going in the wrong direction. Make sure they go to coach class or turn in all assignments. So if ever I got that text, I just screenshot it and say, what's this about? And I let him figure out how to fix it. Because that's mommy nor daddy is going to be in the real world, in the adult world. We're not going to be there to fix stuff. We're not going to be there to talk to your manager, talk to your supervisor, talk to your professor to say, hey, he was doing XYZ. What do he got? These are lessons you have to learn now. So once you're outside of high school where you have those safety nets and such, right now your teachers will remind you. They'll send an email. But when you get in the real world, nobody's reminding you about what you need to do. So about halfway through sophomore year, I took my hands off and was like, okay, this is where I'm going to let you learn how to be independent and see how this goes. And even this past year, we are working on finances now. That, his answer for everything when he wanted to do something or when somebody asked him about something, he would say, my mommy got it. I am not the ATM. He works during the summer, so now we're going how to manage our money to be able to pay. He has one bill right now, which is cell phone bill, to be able to manage his money, to continuously pay his cell phone bill, put some in the savings, and spend wisely. I.e., don't have 100 tennis shoes in my house. So we're working on that, but it is a adjustment process because definitely mama's boy, and definitely back in the day he used to say my mommy got it and mommy had it. But right now we're going through the transition period of mommy not having it. I don't know how much he likes it, but
Well, we have those. I have a senior now too, so and she does have the mommy has it mentality. I think it's something that goes along with that age group right now, and we're slowly, trying to inch back from mommy having it to you're gonna have to do it for yourself. Um, Andre Senior, Andre
Yes.
Senior, So this is probably your little man from before, and now he's your big man.
Yeah.
How's that working with you?
So adjustment again. Um, I used. You're right. I used to call him little man. Now I am having to pray harder. And I say that because not so much because of him, but because of the society we live in. And he's a black man.
Mm-hmm.
So he already has strikes against him just because of the color of his skin. And so we can't act like that's not a taboo subject. It's the reality of what it is. And so I am looking at someone who is consistently maturing. So my parenting is different. Because he's independent, I have to often confront him on some things just from the perspective of you are a male. So you're dealing with various emotions. And because by nature, males suppress a lot, I don't care what age you are, most of us, I am 43. I'm transitioning out of that suppression mode because for so long by nature we're natural suppressors. So I'm often confronting him on what are your emotions like? How are you feeling? Because mental health is a big thing for men that we don't talk about, especially in our community. So I'm often asking him, how are you? How are you feeling? And I don't want a politically correct answer because by nature, AJ is even killed. He's cool as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Though I admire that, and in many instances, what he don't recognize is that I am learning from him. I'm gleaning from him based upon his confidence. I know that being even killed can be a weakness as well, because you can walk around upbeat, smiling, but hurting tremendously on the inside. And so, our conversations are different. I'm trying to make sure that he knows as much about manhood from my mistakes, my flaws, and definitely my failures. And so it's transitioning out of that father-son relationship to now father, sometimes friend relationships. And I know some people say, well, don't be friends with your children. But at a certain point, you know, I become friends with him while understanding don't cross this line because I'm still your authority figure. I'm still your person who that respect. And to that notion, I want to say this because a lot of times we have in our society, you respect me, but I think it's important for fathers to respect their children too. And not blur the lines like, well, I don't want you to have an expectation and I not extend that same courtesy. He has feelings, he has emotions. As a man, I've had to go back to my son multiple times and apologize to him because I could have said something or my emotions could have been different. I don't want him to be a man that grow up and have tremendous issues with his manhood because the first man that he came in encounter with was a poor presentation. And so I'm always telling him I'm flawed, I'm messed up. And I think he sees my weaknesses and that gives him an opportunity to understand that I'm still progressing so he can still progress. So no matter what he may mess up or whatever, yes, he's a certified mama's boy. And I understand that. I have no problem with that because there's a special relationship with mothers and their sons. I understand I had that relationship. But I'm always going to be his dad. There are things that he'll come to me that he won't come to his mother about. There are things he'll talk to me about that he won't talk to his mother about. He knows that at the end of the day, come rain, sun, shine, if he's at fault, if I had to go to jail for my son, I'm gonna go to jail for my son. If I had to go to jail to get my son out of jail, I'm at the end of the day, I'm gonna go to the extent of the earth for him, because now at this point, I am seeing myself all over again in many aspects. And I'm just gonna bring this to a conclusion so I don't be long with it. So it's an adjustment period for me. It's like, wow, this dude is not the little guy that I used to have riding shotgun with me in the back of the car. Now this is the dude that I can ride shotgun and he drives every once in a while for me. So, for his mother, he drives all the time. But it's a privilege, and I'm making sure that I extend more grace more now than ever, because at this point I'm still modeling for him. So I don't want to model the wrong thing. I want him to be a healthy man mentally and emotionally. And I want him to always be able to know that we have that relationship where, hey, you see me and my flaws, you see me messed up. So it's okay to continue to grow. And so that's my adjustment where I'm at now.
Yes. It's so funny because, we as parents, let's be honest, we have our way of doing things and saying things. And then I'm listening to you, Andre, but I'm looking at AJ and Gabby as you're speaking. And they're definitely your kids, but they got a lot of Lucretia's outward stuff that they do. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
I
I can
can
only
see her
imagine the person.
personality popping up. And so it's cute. The last time we talked, I remember Lucretia saying that her favorite TV show that she likes to think of when she think of you guys was the Cosby Show. And I can definitely see that in just how you guys have modeled your family life, Bill and Claire with the kids. So it's quite cute. I want to take a second and do a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to the kids about you guys as far as Gabby's experience during her first year at college, being away from home and how you say developing that call every night. So some kids don't want to call every night. Let's be honest, they don't check in, and then we'll talk to you guys about the empty nest syndrome that is coming your way and what your plans are. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
So for the last 4 years, I have attended Life Happens as a participant and as a panelist and as a speaker, and it has been amazing in each and every role. The experience has been life-changing. It's real. It's been relatable. It's not scientific and it's not deep. It's right there on the plate where you can get it. It's right there where you can understand it and apply it to your life. And that's what makes it so powerful, that when you leave there, you're grasping it, but when you leave there, you still have it. It doesn't fade. It's been something that has been ingrained now. You get all the aha moments, and you're able to change the things that you need to change, and it inspires you in the areas where you need to be inspired. So it's just been
And we are back. And guys, if you don't know, we have Life Happens coming up this October the 25th. We have it every year, the last Saturday in October. And so we invite you to join us. Just head over to lifehappens1.com and you can register today. Look, we have amazing speakers this year. We have Apostle Dr. Jalen Ewell Spence. We have Bishop Joshua Harris, Mr. Randy Sneed, Miss LaDawn Bridges, Miss Sharia Fleet, Miss Ebony Vaughn, Miss Adrian Holloman, And as usual, myself and my brother Alonzo Chapman will be co-hosting. So register today. Get in the room for Life Happens. Give yourself grace. I think we are ready to come back. Are we ready, Wilsons? All right. So Gabby, over the past few years, you have went from mom and dad being your, you know how you have to say, hey, I'm getting ready to go to the store. Hey, I'm getting ready to go here. Now you have a new independence. And with that independence, mom says that Gabby calls us and checks in, just about daily. How did you develop that? Because a lot of college kids, they really have a problem with checking in.
Well, I knew my father would not appreciate if I did not check in. So, first I was just doing texting. It was them who mostly called me first because I was just fine with texting them. But every night I knew I would have to get a messenger video call. And if they didn't call, I had to call. So it wasn't more so for my sake, it was more so for my dad's sake. Just because I know that's the first time where I haven't been at home every day. But other than that, I really didn't have a hard time adjusting to not being at home because I was genuinely looking forward to it. And even now, I don't really have a problem with not being home. I know I have to check in, and that's not a problem for me because I know that my dad especially needs it. But yeah, being away from home isn't hard for me.
Okay. It's just funny. I look at your parents as you're talking, and they both like Dre has the Dre face, and Kria's like totally with the big smile. So it's like, you know, that they appreciate what you do for them. That's what I'm gonna say. You can tell that they appreciate it. With that being said, you guys are about to be empty nesters. Y'all gonna have Rocky. He gonna be the only one running around the house making noise.
Let's correct that.
Rocky, my dog.
The first one who leaves takes the dog.
That's me.
Rocky. Gabby, you gotta hold Rocky up so we can see Rocky because we can't see Rocky, but I know he's there. Guys, this is Rocky. He's the newest addition. He wasn't there the last time we talked to him. And as you can tell, he loves Gabby. But yes, so Rocky has been added to the household, and Rocky is leaving. This is why Rocky is staying, even though she's telling you Rocky is leaving. This is exactly what Rocky is saying because his person is the person he just turned around and ran to.
The first one who leaves, Rocky goes.
Rocky goes. Okay, and AJ is pointing at Gabby, going, Gabby. Okay, Gabby agrees. But how are you guys preparing for empty nest?
Well, I guess when Gabby first moved into campus, one night we were just sitting around and I looked at him because as AJ said, he will sleep, eat, play the game, repeat, and understand sleeping and playing the game and sometimes eating does not require him to come out of his room. So sometimes on a weekend, we like, it's mighty quiet. Our house is generally quiet anyway, but it's extra quiet. And I looked at Andre and I was like, it's just about to be me and you. And we get a little taste of that now. Like he doesn't eat. AJ is more of he'll eat all day long as opposed to eating big meals. So sometimes we're like, oh, what we eating today? I don't know. He'd be like, I already ate whatever. He'd have made him a meal. And I'm like, oh, this is how it's going to be. We just worried about each other eating, come home from work. And we both have our shows that, on certain days we watch. Some we watch together. Some he's in the room and I'm downstairs in the living room because some things he watched, I'm not going to watch. Some things I watch, he's not going to watch. So I think we're already kind of finding a rhythm, especially, like I said, the boy spends the majority of his life in his room most of the time. And even during summer break, the girl found some things to do where she wasn't always home. So once it is official, of course it'll be different. But I think we are slowly falling into, hey, it's just me and you, babe. What we doing?
Absolutely. I think for us, I don't know. For me, again, the word that I'm starting to recognize more, and I've said it several times today, adjustment.
Mhm.
They're getting older, we're getting older. There's transitions that have to take place. There's change that has to take place, and it's not a bad thing. Um, we would be stuck as a family if we didn't transition. So it's getting back to that place because sometimes he will go out the house, depending on what it is. If he's hooking up with his girlfriend or whatever, he's going to go out the house. So I was just thinking earlier today, is getting back to um, that phase where it was just me and her. And so
Mhm.
planning around just me and her. And no pun intended, but it's like they grown. So we see y'all when we get back because we're at the stage, thankfully, where as much as I'm protective over them, the key word for me is check in.
Right.
As long as you check in, I'm good because I'm going to be on vacation with your mother and you're not coming, but I'm going to still need you to check in. But that's not going to prohibit me from going on vacation. We're going to have date night, date days. There are times when we have date day and date night. So, just check in. And so it is a learning and growing period. So it's like, wow, we're not the same people we were when we got married, when it was just us. We're not the same people we were when we were in that dating phase. So I think it all goes back to also modeling for them because I want them to have a healthy perspective of what it is to have parents that love each other, that are growing. Our dynamic is so different than a lot of other people's dynamic, and it's not because I'm aware of it as much as it is them bringing it to our attention. Like my daughter told me when she went to college, some of her roommates look at us like, wow, your parents still together? Because that's not the dynamic for them. My son was talking to me one day and he was like, out of his relationships, there's a rarity to have a mother and father that are still together. This doesn't suggest that it's something wrong with those family dynamics. But for us, it's just been the way it's been. And for them, like I said, they brought it to our attention like, wow, this is what we have. We don't know what it's like to not grow up with a father in the house or not grow up with a mother in the house. So with those transitions, I'm learning, even with adjustment, hey, I need to chase my wife like I used to when it was just us. I need to do more planning to hang out and be able to understand. We don't have to check and see if somebody ate. Both of them can cook. Both of them can cook. With her being at college and being on campus, and then sometime with him being away, it's like, yeah, we go out for the whole day. Because at the end of the day, here's the transition that I'm learning. The parental roles swap. And I'm learning that even though they're transitioning, they're becoming like our parents. So if I'm not checking in, as much as I tell them to check in, but let us go without checking in. And then we'll get a text. Are y'all okay? And it's not one of those, okay, like I'm concerned about you. It's one of those, are y'all okay? Like, did you forget to do something? Where have you been? The other week, I didn't get home in my regular time. And so my son sent me a message like, you cool? And the tone of the text wasn't like, you cool, like you good. The tone of the text like, why you ain't home yet? Let's see. I mean, he's shaking his head. So I appreciate that because again, we're not a perfect family. You know, you said the Cosby Show. Yes, we have the Cosby Show, but then sometimes we transition to good times. So, and I'm James. Or then sometimes we transition to the Jeffersons, whatever. But what I appreciate about it is again that expectation of wow. So I'm looking forward to getting on the subway like we used to do when we were teenagers, and just doing us. You know, it's it's different things that I'm looking forward to doing, because it's life will cripple you if you stay stuck in one place.
Yes.
It's not healthy. So as much as my prayer is getting stronger and gray hair is starting to settle in, but I'm not going to let that be a deterrent in being stuck and not living my life because I'm worried about my children. You instill in them wisdom, you guide them, you nurture them. If they fall, you lift them up. You remember you fell, and so extend grace, but don't get stuck. So yeah, we had an incident recently where I won't say I missed out on the opportunity, but that'll be the last time that we take a family vacation and they are not so long, bye-bye, me and your mother going to another destination. I did that, yeah, right. I understood the reason why I didn't do it, because of that protective aid in me. But I understand also that you have to let them soar and fly. And so this will be the last time where we do a family vacation, and the extended part of that vacation is not just me and their mother. So that adjustment, and I'm learning, I'm looking at where I am.
We got that recorded. You know, this is.
Yeah, it's recorded. I know.
I can play it back.
I'm getting ready. I'm gonna need AJ to repeat what he just said.
Exactly. But again, none of them cannot say that again, that protective age. And for the record, and I'll leave this alone because I don't want to be long-winded. When both of them, should they leave? Now, my children don't have to leave the house. I want them to understand you have a place to stay until you get on your feet. That means if you hear, yeah, you'll have bills, but you'll need to be saving too, because I don't want them. There's so many things we could talk about, generational wealth and all of this other stuff. We don't really hear a lot in our community.
Yes, definitely.
So I want them to always understand you're not getting kicked out because you're 21 and you're 18. You have a place to stay, but of course you're gonna have some things that you need to do. Even with my daughter, when she graduates from college, I'm not telling her to go ahead and get in debt by buying a house. No, you can come back home, you can save, and until you're ready to leave out. But again, it's one of those things I want to go on the record saying, if and when they do leave, whenever they do leave, she says this now, but we all know who's Rocky's favorite person is.
Say that.
We all know.
You.
We all know who Rocky's favorite person is.
We do.
Rocky loves all of us. We understand that. But Rocky's favorite person is the one who he's sitting with now.
Say yeah.
And so I just want to go, since we record, I want to go on record by understanding and letting the World Wide Web know Rocky's favorite person is Krisha,
His grandma.
his grandma. And we understand that she say stuff on camera, but behind the scenes, he may leave, but she probably bring him back. So,
No, I ain't bringing it.
Right. We're taking up too much time.
I got evidence.
We're taking up too much time.
We gotta go to the next section.
Thank you. On the paper side eye.
He leaving.
Okay. You can go ahead to the next page.
Well, the next section is we were kind of getting close to the end anyway, but we talked about the empty nest syndrome. And Andre, you actually answered my next question because you said you're planning, you and Cree are planning to do things together. What I've noticed with a lot of people who become empty nesters, they're lost. They're lost to one another because their life's glue was the children. But you were saying that you guys have already made a conscious decision to start doing it. I will tell a funny story that I saw from your vacation this year because it was quite hilarious. A good friend called me, and you guys were waiting for the kids on a uh, a ride or something. But you seem to be enjoying the vacation by yourself on your scooter. That's how I'm gonna just leave it. You were on your you were enjoying it by yourself on your scooter. And I said, my brother's really enjoying this Disney vacation in a special way. And you know what that means, but you were enjoying it in a special way. So
Real payback with his
yeah.
mother. You know that? I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
Even if they see the footage.
yeah, but it's good. It's good. You guys actually give people something to look forward to. I will say that for a family, a lot of us don't realize that for a family, you guys are actually really close to the Cosbys, which most of us grew up looking at. Along with that, you make the effort to do something together every year. Um, you were talking about doing something with Cree, but I know a lot of people have developed something that you guys do usually, which is take a family vacation and then take a couples vacation.
Right.
You know, can you tell us how important it is? Because there are some people with young kids out here right now who need to understand the importance of, even when you have children, making that couple time.
Yeah, I think we learned early. Again, we're not perfect, so we did out. I wish I could say all 21 years of being married was, peaches and cream, and we always looked at each other and got butterflies. But we had a period of a few years that it wasn't butterflies. So going through that, we have learned the importance of taking time for each other. It's almost like a cliche. Some people say, the same thing you did to get her is the same thing you do to keep her. But that's true. And it goes both ways. We in our dating phases, we're so in love, which most of the time we're in lust and we're not in love. But we're so in love, and every time we see them, we get jittery and we're just all smiles and we just But what people say is true. People prepare for a wedding, but they don't prepare for a marriage. And I could say in the beginning years, we were learning about the marriage. And even after the roughest part of our years, we have learned how to improve on our marriage, which helps us improve not only as mother and father, but as husband and wife. And part of that was ensuring that we take time for us throughout the years, little stuff like date night or go to the movies. But then once a year, we do try to do something big where we take a week and go away just us. And then, like you said, the other time of the year is we take at least a week. The past 2 years, we've taken a little more than a week that we have the family time together, because life be lifing. Work gets stressful. We sometimes forget how it was when we went through school, and teachers we didn't like, and assignments and I hated group assignments. So sometimes once we get adults, we forget that although they don't have as nearly as much stress as we have, kids do have stress. They still do have peer pressure about certain things. So they need mental breaks as well. And sometimes we forget that. And so I encourage people to remember, how did you feel going through school? And sometimes we joke with our kids. We understand that in comparison to the average Black family in the area that we live in, our children are extremely privileged. And we try to let them understand that so they can appreciate the privilege that they have. When I think about, of course, I love the Cosby Family now, and I wish I had, lawyer salary and OBGYN salary. That would be great. But it was one thing I took from shows like the Cosby is, and we probably need more wholesome shows like that on TV today, because it wasn't just the fluff and everybody's in love. We had the episode like when Vanessa wanted to do her own thing and go down to DC and party, and Claire and Cliff was at that door when she came back through. So it's stuff like that you have to still, as parents, be parents. But also, so you don't go overboard with being a parent, meaning that it doesn't come too intrusive, it doesn't come abusive, because we sometimes shake our head when we hear the stories of the mother who beat their child, of the father who did this. But sometimes we don't understand. It's not condoning what they did, but they mentally broke from, and it could have been of various things outside of their actual child. But in that moment, the child did something and they mentally broke. And I don't ever want us to be at a place we mentally break on our children, or we mentally break on each other. There are so many stories, too many stories we hear about, stories we don't hear about. And if you actually knew the background of everything that happened, and understand, we never say it was okay, but you have to understand why it happened. And so it's important to take that time away, to step away from your job. Because again, a cliche, but it's true. If you died or if you left that job today, they're going to have somebody in that seat and they're going to forget that you was ever there. So we have to learn to appreciate ourselves and have value in ourselves, and learn the importance of time away. Not only time away as a couple, not only time away as a family, but sometimes you need your individual time away. Because facts, I love them, will always love them, but sometimes we get on each other's nerves. Yeah. All of us have a moment where we have rolled our eyes at the other one and say,
"Not the Wilsons, no."
Yeah, Wilson. We all have moments where we have rolled our eyes and said, I'm gonna give you know what? And for me, I don't never say anything. I say to myself, okay, it's time for me to leave the room. It's time for me to go to the store. It's time, because if we stay in that emotional up and down, that's when stuff come out our mouth in the wrong way. Sometimes what we said, that's what we were feeling, but how we said it, you agree? Okay, you agree. How we said it came across wrong. So that time away individually, as a couple, as a family, is so important, just for the well-being of the family unit as a whole, and for our mental well-being.
I agree. Absolutely. I think that the saying, anything done to the extreme is too much. And then the whole insanity quote, they're doing the same thing over and over again, is insane. Expecting a different result is insanity. I think that especially for people who are in our shoes as it relates to church, there are a lot of things I might be, but being a failure, you agree, huh? There are a lot of things that I might be, but I'm not going to fail at being a father. I'm not going to fail at being a husband. I speak from this position because I have tons of colleagues that are great pastors, not great husbands, not great fathers, not because they don't have the potential, not because they are bad people, but because of misguided priorities. And I think that it is so important for the church to understand that for many of us, we learned how to do church. We didn't learn how to do life. And so it is important for me to make sure that these four people, these four individuals, my son, my daughter, my wife, and even Rocky understand that it isn't, because I was thinking today, I said, wow, I heard people say how much they were in love with a pet. I didn't feel that. But now at this stage, it's like, this dog is part of the family. So decision making is often centered around Rocky at times, more so than at other times, because he's part of the family. But I hope that churches would reinstitute the importance that our first ministries are our families. Like my wife said, we have, and unbeknownst to many people, they think that we've built the perfect family and a perfect picture. We have flaws and holes and everything else. Unbeknownst to people, we've experienced everything that a family can experience that could have taken us over the edge as it relates to marriage, as it relates to parenting. Like she said, that episode where Clift and Claire was waiting for Vanessa to get back at home, we've experienced that with our daughter. We've had moments where we've experienced it with our son. How we handle those moments also determines whether it's a teachable moment, and how we handle those moments also determine, as parents, if we handled it appropriately. Because again, parents don't always get it right. And so there are times when we're having to, as parents, look at ourselves and say, yep, they're reliving and they're doing what we did. We just didn't get caught, or they're doing what we did and now we're reaping. So rather than flying off the handle, it's like, this is just a return investment. So treat this moment with grace and treat this moment carefully. But yeah, I would, it's no secret, every August we close the church down. It's up to the church, the congregants, as to what they do with that sabbatical, because anything to the extreme is too much. But for us, it's a time for us to reconnect. It's a time for us to have that moment to enjoy life, because I don't want to come to the end of my journey and recognize, oh yeah, I did all of this, but I miss moments to be a father, moments to be a husband. And like she said, those individual moments where we get on each other's nerves, we have to go and sometimes separate, get our own space. All of that is what makes up a family. All of that is what makes up being a healthy individual, because we oftentimes point the finger at other people and their flaws, but very rarely do we go to the mirror enough to point the finger at us and say, you know what, I'm the issue, I'm the problem, this is why this is jacked up. So again, I would encourage people to learn to live life. God understands you love him. Learn to live life. Go on a vacation. Go on a weekend getaway. Go to the park. Go to the movies. Do everything that was a sin, that was told was a sin, but you found out it was not a sin. And I say that in its proper perspective. I don't want nobody taking this off the edge. But live life. Because
yes,
at the end of the day, them people that you look at, I don't want it to be said that the scars that they will have, because they will have scars. Now, I don't want to be the one that was the offender as to the reason why they have the scars. So please learn to live life and thrive at living this life.
I will tell you guys, there is a major thing that I particularly love about you all. I was looking at a post 2 days ago from the Connect Church, and that post had Connect Church businesses on it. And on that post, we had Wilson's Travel, we had GAW, and then at the bottom I saw Picks by Dre. And the fact that you guys encourage your kids to be entrepreneurs is an amazing thing, because that is something that a lot of families do not do these days. My daughter has also moved out into the entrepreneur field, as you guys know. She's decided to do Taste of Love Kitchen, and so we've been family a long time, I'll say. We've been family a long time, but I do look at what you all do. And sometimes people say, oh, you biting. No, not biting. When you see something that works, try it.
Absolutely.
When you see something that works, try it. And so I will tell you, I am forever grateful because there are things that I've learned from you too that I couldn't have learned. I might could have learned it somewhere, but I had not learned it until I met you. So it is an honor to know you all. Guys, we are an hour in. It went super fast, but I thank you for joining us. If you don't know and you're watching, Lucretia and Andre uh, is the reason we have Family Month in August. We were talking one year, and I said it's an amazing idea. Let's do Family Month on the Lioness Den, and then they have been my biggest supporters at Life Happens. So, guys, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you all four of you. I'm gonna tell y'all, Gabby has been a godsend in just difficult times. GAW has designed some things for me. They designed our website. So if you need a website, check out GAW. And with that being said, guys, we're gonna call it a day. I'm gonna play the commercial one more time and then end it. Thank you again for joining us, everybody online, and we'll see you
Thanks for
next
having
time.
us.
So for the last 4 years, I have attended Life Happens as a participant and as a panelist and as a speaker, and it has been amazing in each and every role. The experience has been life-changing. It's real. It's been relatable. It's not scientific and it's not deep. It's right there on the plate where you can get it. It's right there where you can understand it and apply it to your life. And that's what makes it so powerful, that when you leave there, you're grasping it, but when you leave there, you still have it. It doesn't fade. It's been something that has been ingrained now. You get all the aha moments, and you're able to change the things that you need to change, and it inspires you in the areas where you need to be inspired. So it's just been